Hello, my name is Stephen Smith. Thanks for joining us today as we learn how to import Amazon transactions into Quicken. This is going to be a short PowerPoint deck as well as a full demonstration of what it looks like to take all of your orders from Amazon and get them categorized into Quicken. Now, the reason that you would do this is because you can order basically everything from Amazon, but it comes through your credit card feed as a single Amazon charge with no memo or no understanding of what exactly you are actually buying. It could be groceries, it could be household, it could be furnishings, it could be toys. And if you want that kind of detail in your Quicken file, we're going to try to boil this down to 6 steps. The first is logging into Amazon, requesting your data, downloading that data. There's going to be a zip for that data. We're going to open and manipulate it in Excel, and that's really where that heavy lifting is. And then we're going to clean it and import it into Excel and make sure that your Quicken file is prepared to receive it and it doesn't duplicate anything or duplicate charges. So let's get started. First step is to log into Amazon. Now, years and years ago, I have another video on this channel where this was quite easy. You just went to orders, download, and then it was as simple as that. Well, several years ago, Amazon got rid of that service, got rid of that feature, and now it makes it a little bit more challenging. You have to log into Amazon, you have to go to your accounts, you have to go to the menu, scroll all the way to the bottom, and you're going to see something that says request your data under manage your data. You're going to request that data and you're going to get not one, but most likely 2 emails. The first email is going to say, is this you? Are you sure you requested your data? And you're going to say, yes, I did. And you're going to click approve. And then it's going to come back and it's going to tell you, well, we might need 90 days or so to do this. And usually it comes back in a couple hours or a day at the most. And what's going to happen is you're going to click on the download button and you're going to have 2 different things, your orders and file descriptions. This you can tell is a very small file, and I don't think I even know what that is, but everything is going to be in your orders. You're going to download a zipped file. And even in that zipped file, you're going to see several different folders. Additional, Whole Foods, returns, refunds, that kind of stuff. And you're going to drill down again into the Your Amazon Order section, and you're going to see a bunch of stuff. You're going to get to something called Order History. This is the biggest file typically, and that is what you are after. Now, once we get that file and we open it in Excel, what we're going to do is we're going to go into Excel and we're going to learn how to filter this. We're going to remove things like gift cards and Whole Foods, or if you have multiple credit card accounts. We're going to learn to filter it by date range because it's a lot of data, as you're about to see. And we're going to learn which columns are important and which don't. So just a little preview of what that is going to look like. We're going to map this product name to memo field in Quicken, the ship date to the date field, the total amount into the amount field. So let's get started. This is what that order history looks like. Now, this is all of my Amazon activity all the way back. You can see some dates, 2015, 2017, 2021, and there are lots and lots of columns here. So we don't need things like the ASIN number. We don't need the payment method. We don't need the shipping option, the shipping method, the discount applies, the website. So there's a lot of this information that we don't need, carrier, tracking number, etc. So I like to take this and copy it into a more usable working tab. And in this tab, I'm going to do things like I'm going to filter. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to filter by card because I don't want, if there's other people using the account, or if there's other cards, I want to make sure that I'm mapping the right credit card. The second thing I'm going to also filter is the source. So if you are a Whole Foods shopper and if you use your Amazon, you might see something Panda 01. This is because you can use your Amazon card at Whole Foods, but those come through differently on your credit card. They actually say Whole Foods. So I want to remove those from my list. The next thing I want to do is I also want to make sure that I'm not pulling all of my dates in. Remember, I'm just going to do 2026, the most recent year. So I'm going to filter all of that information and just using good old-fashioned Excel tools to just say filter to only show me 2026 stuff. So that's going to be nice and clean. So I'm going to have everything shortened up a little bit. Now, there's a few other things that you will discover along the way. One is the order date versus the ship date. Amazon charges only when it ships, not when it orders. So you might think you're ordering a whole bunch of things at one time, but that's not what's going to hit your credit card. Rather, once they ship it, and if they ship from different fulfillment centers, that's what's going to hit your card. The shortcut to kind of see how that happens is if you look at the ship date, you'll notice that there's repeating dates. And if you look at the ship item subtotal, you'll see that some items are repeated. So for instance, these two items were shipped together. And we saw a charge for not just the $679.99, but the $406 in shipping. So that made $72.05, which is just happens to be total of these two items here. Now there may have been some discounts and stuff like that. I think I've already hit those accounts. Here's another example of $39.98. Here's another example of $183.19. All of this $183.19 plus the $12.14, $195.33. That's all of this right here, $195.33. So that's why I went through the painstaking exercise of actually grouping every single one of these. Now, the reason that I grouped them all, which we're going to see in a little bit, is because all of my credit card charges added up to $1,138.18. But all of these Amazon charges added up to $1,232.82, a difference of $94.64. And, well, I don't recommend, or you may not be this detailed or this anal to go and do this exercise. I looked and cross-checked every single one of these charges and discovered that when we ordered some items, Lightning USB-C adapters and Built bars, these 4 things on 2 different orders were never charged to my card. Despite having been shipped, we've received them. They were on there. I don't know what happened. I'm going to take it, so I'm not going to worry about it. So anyways, there's lots of data here. There's lots of information. Those are just a few tips to kind of not be so overwhelmed by all of this data. Now, the next step after all of this is to put this into a format that we can import into Quicken. Now, I'll show you where I got this, but here is a sample. It's actually called a sample format that allows you to now import CSV charges into Quicken. It used to be that you needed a converter, and you need to convert CSV into QFX or OFX or QIF or some language that Quicken could import. Now, thankfully, Quicken allows you to import CSVs. That import is date, there's a payee, an amount, a category, and a memo. So what's cool is that we can just copy and paste from our working date into our sample. And then if we need to manipulate the dates, we can do that. Now, if you are using Claude or Open or probably any other AI, here's a little bonus in that you can use some AI to make things even easier and cooler. For instance, I said, go ahead and make the memo only 64 characters because I know that it's going to chop it off anyways. And here is a formula for 64 characters. I'm going to put this in the show notes so you can take a look at this and manipulate this memo. I also asked AI, and it's artificially intelligent, to look at each charge, like Laundry Club and Mushroom Coffee with grass-fed collagen, and then cross-reference it against my standard category list that we have in Quicken and come up with a assigned category. And it did a pretty good job, meaning that it knew that laundry sheets was under laundry. It knew that mushroom coffee with grass-fed adaptogens is a pharmacy product. Drawstring trash bags are home supplies, etc., etc. So if you don't have Claude, if you don't have AI, you can always use Quicken to categorize these things when you bring it into the register. But if you do, you can save yourself some time and effort and have it do it for you. It'll also clean up the date too. And here's another fancy formula that it can clean up the date, if or B2, all of which I will put in the show notes if you don't have AI or Claude. The end result is something that looks like this: date, payee, amount, category, account tag, memo, and check number. Okay, here we are in a sample file in Quicken. And the first thing I did is I created a Amazon credit card account. So this is how we're going to do it, because we have a credit card account and all the charges are going to come in. And if we type in Amazon here, we'll see these are all of the charges that are coming in from Amazon. And again, here's where you only see either Marketplace or Amazon.com. Here's that Whole Foods charge, which comes in as Whole Foods. So I said, okay, I want all of these charges to point to an Amazon clearing account, right? It's an Amazon, it's a credit card account. And that's where I'm going to import all of my individual transactions. So once I did that, it mapped over the $1,138.18 worth of charges, but with no details. If we go to File Import, under Banking, we now have this new feature from the CSV file or create a sample file. The create a sample file, this is where you can get the actual file with that format that you're going to need to put it in order to import. So it's going to put it on your desktop, copy, paste, manipulate it, and then you can use that to import. So let's go ahead and do that. File, Import, Banking from CSV. There it is. It's reminding us what the columns are going to look like. Make sure they're in the exact order. There's a few instructions. We're going to say choose Amazon, open, and just like that, it brought in 38 transactions. It skipped one, and I want it to skip one because guess what? It was actually 0 in the list. And now here we are. So now I've got Amazon payee, Amazon charge is the Amazon payee. There's our memo, abbreviated to 64 characters, picked to the individual category that Claude helped me with. And then there's the charge. Now, 2 or 3 more reminders. First, the first time I did this, I didn't make them negative. You have to make the transactions negative so that they come in as a minus. Second, you'll notice that it says 9464. Why is it? Because there was 4 transactions that I don't think I was ever charged for. So I want this to be 0. So I'm going to go back and I'm actually going to delete those transactions because I want this clearing account to always be 0. And if we need help remembering what those transactions are, they were these: $29.99, $25.20, $32, and $7.45. So they were these 4 transactions. So I just don't know where they were. I'm going to delete them, and now I'm at 0. So that second tidbit is to always get to 0. And the reason you want to get to 0 is so that you can reconcile to 0. All of our charges on one side, all the credit card payments on the other, they balance. And just like that, we've got the information. And now when we look at a P&L, we're going to have this information broken out by category. That's it. I hope this helped. and happy Amazon categorization. Any questions, as always, feel free to reach out to me at quickencoach.com or sundialvfo.com. Thank you.